Many of you are at a point. What if I put my heart and soul into this and it doesn't work out? My friend, failure is a necessary part of the human existence. The sooner you learn how to fail, the better for you. People like to pretend. What should I do? I don't know what to do. Please tell me what to do. I know I'm not tall enough, so basketball is out of the picture. But if I could find something as graspable as basketball just to shoot hoops day in, day out, I'll do it. Many of you pretend, but some of you are not pretending. But the vast majority pretend as though they have no idea of what to do. You know the next step in your life is to start that sandwich business, but many defer. Why? They're gonna laugh at me. What if my friends see me? So they laugh at you. Is that all? So let me get this straight. You're going to jeopardize the potentiality of rescuing your family and your bloodline from eternal slavery and serfdom because people are going to laugh at you. It's ridiculous. It also ties back to the fact that we as humans overstate the place we have in other people's lives. Majority of you believe that another individual, by some providence, is thinking about you. It's stupid. Everybody is so busy trying to make a meaning out of their own life. They don't have time for you. Majority of people go through an embarrassing situation. Say you're walking down the hallway, you fall, you encounter someone, maybe after that experience, you encounter a friend or some co-worker, and you're relating to the person based off of that embarrassing scenario. I guarantee you, the moment you walked off that hallway, every single person forgot about it. It's you who's carrying the consciousness, believing that you're somehow special and everybody's thinking of it. We all know the model, Naomi, who fell in one of our runways. Do you think about it? Sure, it might cross your mind once in a while, but do you actually, genuinely, deep in your soul, sit down or get up in the morning as a full-grown adult and ponder on it? It doesn't cross your mind. You're too busy thinking of something else to recall such a situation that doesn't benefit you. So if that's the case for all of humanity, why do you believe you're different? There's this Chinese proverb that says, once you see your neighbor's bed on fire, quickly soak your own with water, because both are made of the same material. So if everybody can forget the model Naomi, who fell on one of our prestigious runways, who are you as people that you believe that people still recall the embarrassing scenario? Of course, there are some extremes where they bully you about it or some bully, but 95% out of the time, this is not the case. Another set of people are the ones who fear failure. Not because they want to be embarrassed about it or they're in front of the sandwich stand, like the example I shared earlier. But they fear failure and what it does to them. They never try. They want to shield themselves from the problems that life offers. But my friend, it's the problem that actually forges you. Whatever you gain on your journey to success is the person you become, the person that has to develop in order to attain that goal that is twice as valuable. There's a story of this man who was saddled with the responsibility to push a huge rock up the mountain. The first week he tried, the second week he tried, the third week he tried, and after 6 months of pushing and the rock wouldn't budge, he decided to give up. About to turn back and return in shame, he noticed something remarkable. His hands had become stronger, his legs thicker, his bones more resistant to pressure. It's the same thing with that guy on the sandwich store. He took the ridicule just as about he was to give up. Most of you might not attain the goal you set out to, but about to give up, look at what it has made of you. The sandwich guy wanted to give up, but he quickly recalled that this business taught him a lot more that would help him further in life. About that time, he realized that business is not limited to transaction, it's not limited to value exchange. There are a lot of personal development that has to go into it. He learned finances, he learned accounting, he learned how to invest. He stumbled upon the principle of manifestation. You remember that time when he was low on sales and he began to feel the emotion of what it would look like when he sold 100 sandwich. He began saying thank you and giving thanks for the experience that is yet to happen and how it worked. So the different difficulties he sustained now helps him to scale the subsequent business he ventures in. So regardless of what goal or what venture you decide to employ yourself in, you didn't fail, you learned a bunch of lessons. Edison captures it best in his quote: I didn't fail 1,000 times, I found 1,000 ways that causes failure. It's the same thing with you. You didn't fail in that endeavor, you learned a lot of lessons that causes failure. You learned a lot of ways on how not to reproduce that result you desire. When you see someone erring in that direction as you did previously, you are able to look at him and say, young man, look, I've been down this path, I've been down this road, here's how it ends. Instead of wasting time, what took me 2 to 3 years to realize, here is the information on a silver platter. You become a mentor yourself. That's why mentorship is key. Mentorship is key. Mentorship is like going to the farm, breaking out some produce, distilling it, sieving it, branding and packaging the produce and handing it to someone else. If you go to the supermarket, there are some goods that are immediately consumable, while there are some you have to go to your apartment, cook it, etc., etc., etc. So mentorship is like the information or the produce that is immediately consumable. Many of you would hide behind the shield. Why would a billionaire want to talk to me? Of course he wouldn't. Would you talk to yourself if you were a billionaire? Answer this question objectively. Honestly, ask yourself, if I was a billionaire and I reviewed the shit life I'm currently living, would I want to talk to myself? You can hide behind the shield of I'm me and everybody wants to hang with me. But if you can't be objective, if you can't bring yourself up onto the point where you're objectively truthful with yourself and your current well-being, there's no growth for you. It's even worse if you're a leader, because you would surround yourself with psychopaths who would help hasten your downfall. So what are they saying about you? Sir, honestly, they said, this your business, we've never seen it in this fashion. Only in the days of John D. Rockefeller could capture the expression of this business. You mean it? Of course I do. And not to forget your leadership. Your leadership, it was men like Napoleon who could galvanize the populace to do such things, and just sitting there enjoying it. Ah, yes. But the point I'm trying to make is always value your own opinion over others. You surround yourself with psychopaths if you place your confidence in externality. So do the right thing. And back to the initial discourse. I believe we've zoned out a little bit. Failures will teach you a lot. Failures would help in your journey. I don't see failures, I see learning experience. Once you set out to attain a goal, most times what you get, and anyone who's done anything that is worthy of admiration would nod his head in the positive light of what I'm about to share. Anyone who's done anything significant knows that once you set out to achieve a goal, 90% out of 10 is not that goal you're going to attain. You're going to attain something better than what you currently aspire to get. You're never going to engage in that experience if you never start. If you're always worried, what if this happens or what if that happens? You should switch it. What if not? Why does negativity always have to be synonymous with your own experience, with your own situation? Like the beard analogy I gave, every single person is made of the same material. Every single billionaire has the same 24 hours like you and I. So why can't you produce the same result? Why not you? Why can't you perform at the highest echelon of your profession? Why do you always have to start small and work your way up the ladder, and by the time you're a manager in some $10 company, you're 56? Is that the kind of experience you want to live? No. I refuse to believe an intelligent God who designed the earth and the universe would design a human being so that he can sleep, wake up, go to job. Few years later, society calls him a teen, an adult. He becomes an adult, he gets a job, he keeps working his ass, he gets married, have kids, struggle, arguing, and die. That is a mediocre experience. I would refuse, I would rather be dead than to exist. I read a story, a Bible story, some years ago, and I wept. Literally. He said, in the era of John, so a full generation, God did not recognize any single person. So one man was equivalent to a whole generation in the era of John. Aren't you tired of being average and ordinary and having to stress when you want to pay bills? The man is working hard and his wife looks at him. Why can't we move to a better apartment? Do you think I don't want to respond? You see, this issue of finances is tied to the fact that most people are valueless. They try to outsource their value through the academic route. But that's the safety net for every single person. If every single person is erring towards that direction, over time, it becomes diluted, it weakens. Basic economics teaches us the higher the demand, the lesser the supply. The inverse is also the case. If you look at it from a price point, if the supply is high, it's most likely that the price is high because producers are willing to supply more at a higher price. The effect, the demand will be low. So if the demand is high, it means that the prices are low. Supply will also be low because no one wants to supply at a lesser produce. So if the influx of students in a college is high, so the talent pool is widening every single year, demand will be low. Of course, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is this. Let me give you a simple analogy. I'll work with your mind now. How many students are in your department? You who's in college, 200 maybe. So how many students do you have in the whole session or for the whole session? Say you had 15 departments, 15 different departments, 200 students for each 15. 200 multiplied by 15, that's somewhere around 3,000 students. So if 3,000 students graduate with the same certificate, with the same object of reward, what's your distinction? Why do you believe that by some providence they will single you out of that 3,000 that graduated? You know what's worse? How many students didn't just graduate from a school, but in your local area? You widen the radius in your state, even bigger circumference in your country, another country, and the radius keeps expanding and expanding. So if every single person, millions of people are waving this piece of paper saying, hey, I need a job, I did XYZ, give me a job, what creates your distinction? In a country like Nigeria, where the average salary is 150,000, and that's even if you're fortunate to work in the private sector. Work for the federal government is a lot lesser. So 150,000. Let's be generous. Let's double it. So 300,000. 300,000 monthly in a year. That's somewhere around 3.6 million. So let's say you had a place to eat, you had a place to sleep, and you walked to work every single day. You saved all your money. You're down to 3.6 million annually. If you saved every single penny for 10 years, you still would not be able to afford my watch. Doesn't that aggravate you? Doesn't that piss you off? And for my global audience, 3.6 million multiplied by 10, that's 36 million. That's 6 million in USD is somewhere around $15,000. $15,000 is dog shit. It won't get you anywhere. It's not going to do you any good. So for some of you who are stalling action, now is the best time to act. The best time to plant a tree was 5 years ago. The second best time is now. And as always, my friend, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one. Power did us dirty, but we'll come back stronger. See you in the next one.